Hello, chat room. Hello, hello. Welcome. To the Avowed Epilogue ending analysis discussion that has no formal name. Hello. We are about to begin. We're gonna be taking just a short look at what I would say is 95% of all, if not all, endings within Avowed. But not so much from, well, let me back up. We're gonna be looking at a lot of things related to the ending of Avowed. Gito, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome. Long time no see. It feels like it's been a long time since I've streamed, but it's only been a week. I've had a long week, but we're here on Friday. It's quite good to see you. We're just about to get started discussing some stuff about Avowed's endings. So let's go to our next screen. Hopefully that works. It didn't. Oh god. No. Alright. There we go. I accidentally went to the outro for a second. That's okay. Here we are. So our playthrough of Avowed is finished. And just like the other RPGs that we've played, the only one that comes to mind though right now is Dragon's Dogma. It's time to dive a little bit deeper and think critically about our experience. So this isn't really a review of the game, but more of just an analysis of all of the different possible endings, and a closer look at the ones that we got in our playthrough. Trying to condense the 106-hour-ish experience into like a 1 to 10 review scale feels too restrictive for me, so I thought that this would be a good alternative. Turn down the music a little bit, but still pretty informal. Haven't rehearsed anything, you know, yada yada yada. But other than that, let's go ahead and dive in. Also, we're listening to the Pillars of Eternity 1 soundtrack, which I know this is about Avowed, but is just the one that I like the most. Avowed's soundtrack is very dark, so I wanted something a little bit lighter and fantastical sounding. So what was first here? Okay. And of course, I didn't even put the spoiler warning on this one because the whole thing is about the epilogue. I felt like that's not necessary. But big spoilers, don't even look at your screen if you're concerned. Next, we are going to look at the main story choices and side quest choices. I have our options that we chose in the story highlighted in this yellow gold color. And I've narrowed it down to, yeah, like the main stories in the left column, and then there's only two side quests that actually contribute to any in-game ending slides. So, starting at the top, within Dawnshore, that's the first area, then Paradise, the city. Actually, 1 second, chat. Okay, sorry. Might as well handle that before we get started. So, within Dawnshore and Paradise, that's where you get shot by the assassin, and then you spend the half your time tracking him down. Turns out to be the Paradisian rebel, Yigwolf. You can either kill him or let him go. You can also, I think, convince him to turn himself in. We spared him, but we spared him for admittedly evil reasons. I spared him thinking I may be able to use him in the future as a worthy ally. He did not return to the story in any meaningful way. Sad. Within the Emerald Stair and Fior Mesiverno, that's the animancy place. Sweets, hello, what up? We're just getting started here. Hey, Iggy. You know, I remembered it when I started the stream, and then I forgot about it again, but it's so good. Hello. Right now, this is our first slide where we are taking a look at the main story choices and side quest story choices for Avowed that affect your end game. This is our in-game analysis, and you know, we're going to be taking a look at the choices that we chose as well to essentially prove that I'm not the worst guy, alright? So, in Dawnshore and Paradise, we spared our assassin, and then in the Emerald Stair, we stopped the Steel Garrote from attacking Fior, which I felt like was a really... I felt very accomplished by that. I'm not sure how obvious the game made it. I felt like it was a very hidden thing, but then it turned out to be a major story plot. Sure, yeah. Just wait and see. Just wait. I have pretty strong evidence that I'm definitely not the worst. Within Shatterscarp and Thirdborn, that's when you meet Ludwin and Rengrim, the Ice Mage of Terror, Archmage of Ice Magic and Terror, whatever combination you want to use. And you can either side with Ludwin and destroy the ruins, which kills a lot of Dream Thrall within, but, you know, destroys ruins of the godless. Or you can side with Rengrim, and if I understand right, BGM a little too loud? Alright. If I understand right, thanks. She sacrifices a certain amount of Thirdborn's people. Right? Because she severs the Audra, and then that was like the deal, like you don't know who's gonna get Thanos snapped. So in that case, we sided with Ludwin and destroyed the ruins. Also, now this song is like super quiet, so hard to tell if it's if it'll be better or not, but that's okay. It's all good. And then in the last part, in the garden with Sappadal, you can kill Sappadal free. Oh wait, sorry, I skipped Galawain's Tusk. In Galawain's Tusk and Solace Keep, which is where Marius is from, the Pargrunin, the isolationist people, you can help Kostya flood Solace Keep, which forces them all to leave, or you can kill Kostya and save Solace Keep by basically not flooding it with lava. There is no scenario where you can save Kostya and the keep, but you can still, I think, kill him and flood the keep. There's still some funky combinations. Anyways, within the garden with Sappadal, you can kill Sappadal, free them, or fuse with them. Also, we killed Kostya to save Solace Keep, and we killed Sappadal in our playthrough. I just realized that alright, there we go. Thing was blocking the side quest choices. Alright, and then the side quest choices with our bro Sargemus and the quest called the Dawn Treader. you can kill him, you can sacrifice yourself for him, which is technically what we did, and I believe what we were saying is the canonical end of our true character's journey, is that we gambled to bring back Aethys and died for no reason. That's like, you know, if we were playing a hardcore run, that's it. That was it. There's a lot of killing in this run, I know, and even siding with Ludwin to destroy some ancient ruins, but also that's better. I mean, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I'll let you all decide which is the better choice by presenting all the options, right? So we convinced Sargemus to stop after we fiddled around with the other options, and we could leave the Audra statue standing that he built, we could destroy it, or you could give the statue to the mysterious voice, which at the time, I'm pretty sure you didn't even know his name was Sapodal, just mysterious voice was asking to be able to take the statue, like, eventually, when they're free. And then in the Emerald Stair, there's Elia's Revenant Corpse Farm, where we kind of accidentally donated our body to her, and then depending on whether you save Fjord or not from the Steel Garrote, you get slightly different sounding ending slides where you're like, it's like Fjord's destroyed and Elia's gone. You wonder if you're still going to be held accountable for your deal. ... You know, it's like ominous. But if you save Fjord, then it's like, yep, you're gonna be a zombie farmer when you die. The end. So, all right, so we have our first question. So if you free oh yeah, also I definitely welcome any questions. I feel like I'm very learned on the subject. Also, I'm gonna turn our music up a little bit. Nope, nope, nope. Why is the volume so sensitive? Nope, that's off. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm just not gonna fiddle with it anymore. So if you free Sapodal and don't destroy them, what happens? We will get to that. First, we have to go over... I actually don't remember what's next. Actually, well, yeah, we'll get to Sapodal on this slide. Oh, and don't destroy the statue. So if you free Sapodal and don't destroy the statue. Okay, yeah. I have that as a thing later on. Wink, wink. Does Sapodal get in it? We'll see. I'll let you think about that. Think about everything that you know about Sapodal and think. If we promised Sapodal the statue and they said they wanted to run around and touch the grass and feel the water and the sand, you think that they would still do that once they were free after everything that happened and they got their memories? Well, they didn't really lose their memories. They kind of just like don't understand what happened. Anyways, let's back up. Starting from the top, this is kind of the order of the ending slides as they're delivered to you, but I tried to organize this as best I could. So you have an introduction ending slide and the results of the battle in Paradise, which is the battle that's happening once you exit the garden. You can have the Living Lands factions win. You can have the Envoy join the Steel Garrote, but you get betrayed. You can have the Envoy join the Steel Garrote and kill Ludwin. Or you can have the Envoy join the Steel Garrote and Ludwin is alive and you rule together. And so there's 3 pro Steel Garrote choices, 1 non. We went with the living... I'll go over what we went with after we're all done with the slide. With the Dream Scourge, it ends. That is literally the only thing that can happen, is that it ends. And I'll say it now, because I don't know if I don't really have a good spot to talk about all my opinions, but I'll say it now. I wish there were more things you could do with the Dream Scourge. For example, what if at the end Sapodal's like, Envoy, like team up with me and I can control the Dream Thralls now, and we can kill the Steel Girl, or like we can kill everyone, something like that, something other than it just ending, you know. The Envoy. Sorry, I should keep my opinions to the end because it's supposed to be more of an analysis. Envoy. So, at the end, you can continue fighting for the Living Lands, or, like we said kind of above, you can pledge loyalty to the Steel Garrote, and either one or two things happens. You either declared a traitor, or you are knighted. If you're declared a traitor, you get your head cut off, and if you're knighted, you get a special little knighting ceremony where you are, well, you become a knight of the Steel Garrote. With Sappadal, Sappadal can be set free, and here's the answer to one question about Sappadal. What happens if Sappadal is set free at all? Well, it turns out that Sappadal would have become a good person. Oh no, that's bad news for our playthrough, because Sappadal would have grown, and kind of the whole like kind of feeling is that they tend to the kith, they tend to the people of the Living Lands, and treat them like a garden of sorts. You know, it's like kind of like that metaphor, however you want to say that. You can kill Sappadal. Sappadal can die, killed by the Envoy. There's no other way that Sappadal can die. Sappadal can live and become infused with the Envoy. Or Sappadal can live and roam as the Audra statue. So there's the answer to that, and we'll actually look at the ending screen of that specifically later, because there's no easy way for me to show that in my real game, because we would have to go back to the first area and do the sign, etc, etc. So also then with Ludwin can either you know, if you're allying with the Living Lands, you can fight the Envoy and win, like, and Ludwin wins, or you can fight the Envoy and die a lot. Actually, there's another option, right, where you don't fight the Envoy and are convinced by a loss of faith. That's actually the option we picked. Iceboom, hello, welcome. We're just yapping about Avowed and the various endings in our playthrough. Hope you had a good week, my friend. Good to see you. Yapping. Oh yeah, it's just a yapping stream for sure. But there'll be some gaming actually around the end. So if you ally with the Steel Garrote, you know, they can declare you as a traitor. Some of these are a bit repetitive because they are related. You know, like Ludwin will declare the Envoy as a traitor, which means the Envoy is declared as a traitor, you know, on the left. But still kind of wanted to lay them all out for everybody. In our next section, we're going to be taking a look at what happens to the places of the game. This evening was a bit much. It went 180 a bit ago. Well, hopefully everything's all right, and it's calming back down, or will soon. So there's, you know, the 4 main areas, and the Living Lands itself. So it did good. The Living Lands can be a colony of a deer. It can be what's called a Grefram, which is just imagine it's like a colony, but I'm pretty sure it's like has more freedom than a colony, but is still not a free place. There's the unite together option, where they become a United Living Lands and they're all free, hip hip hooray. There's the option where Ludwin dies and they're ruled by the Envoy in the Steel Garrote, and then an option where Ludwin lives and they're ruled by the Envoy in the Steel Garrote. Pretty similar, but still there's a difference. Within Dawnshore and Paradise, the rebels can either go into hiding, and there's like so many variations of rebels going into hiding. Or the rebels can return to Paradise peacefully, which is great. And that's what happened in our game. Within the Emerald Stair, So I'm not sure if this happens even if Fjord gets destroyed, but you have to decide where the Emerald Stair refugees are going to go, and you can either send them to Paradise or you can send them to Thirdborn. I put the options off to the side for you all to decide which sounds better. But if you ask me, we chose the correct option of sending them to Thirdborn. So on the right there, it says, if you send the refugees to Paradise, the refugees of the Emerald Stair find a cold welcome in the city of Paradise. Animancy is frowned upon, but their knowledge of agriculture is highly valued. The first bountiful harvest improves relations. That sounds decent. That's like not a bad one. But Animancy is frowned upon. Boo. And they're like the city of Animancers. And then in Thirdborn, the refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. It's a little bit more vague, but it sounds better to me. Could be argued either way. Regarding Fjord, the actual city within Emerald Stair, it can be destroyed by the Stilgaro, which just means you didn't do the right quest. Or you can save the city, and then only one of these two things can happen, but there's like multiple versions of each of these. The city can be ruled by Adir in some way, and they are anti-animancy. Or, if it's a United Living Lands, everybody's pro-animancy, and they share their research, and everybody... It's kind of like the everybody's happy option. So, Hip Hip Hooray, that's the one that we got. Next. Dang it. Next. In Shatterscarp and Thirdborn, where you can destroy the ruins and spare the citizens of Thirdborn, or sacrifice the citizens and spare the ruins. If you destroy the ruins, Adir can rule over Thirdborn, if that's like the colony option. If you destroy the ruins and you choose the Grefrem option, the Adir will send troops in to kill all the Dream Thrall, but then the Thirdborn citizens are like, yeah, but what happens when there's only one enemy left, or there's no common enemy anymore? They're worried about all of the Diran presence in Thirdborn. Or if you destroy the ruins and you unite the Living Lands, Thirdborn kills all the Dream Thrall, and it says that they make a game out of it. Oops, I forgot. It's all right there on the right. So, well, now I don't need to read it because I just gave you the short version. But yes, it seems like we made the better option choice for that, which is surprising because you had to team up with Ludwin for you to pick what I'm calling the most positive option. Because if you sacrifice the citizens to spare the ruins, first of all, I saw a funny Reddit comment where someone was like, why should we care about ruins that they've had the chance for like so long to go in and explore and study, and they just haven't? And I was like, that's true. It's not like they're recently discovered ruins. They've been there for the whole time. So it's another point for just destroying them. But if you side with Ringgrim, all of the options seemed pretty negative. I didn't feel like including them because they were all, to me, felt like clearly not so great. Within Galawain's Tusks and Solace Keep, if you save Solace Keep, well, you can save Solace Keep or doom Solace Keep, flooding it with lava or not. If you save Solace Keep and Kostya dies, so one option is that Kostya dies, Minhala locks down the keep, and Adir is forced to invade them as like a show of force. Okay, that seems like one of the worst ones. If you save Solace Keep and set up the Grefrim for the Living Lands, Solace Keep gets like a bunch of goods, and it even talks about how their bellies have never been rounder, but it doesn't sound... there was still... it sounds like an okay option, but they're not free. They're not free, they're under Adiran rule. People fat, yeah, I was like, huh, that's what an image, right? To imagine someone's belly never being rounder. Within the if you unite the Living Lands, Minhala works together with everyone in the Living Lands, hip hip hooray. If you doom Solace Keep, so you flood Solace Keep and force them to leave their home, there's an option where some of them cling to the ruins, and some of them actually move to Adir, while Kostya negotiates with the people, or with the Adiran, you know, whatever you want to say, local forces. There's one where if you do the Grefrim, Adir abuses the new Grefrim, and because they know the Pargarunan don't have any friends, basically, because they've been isolationists this whole time, and no one in the Living Lands likes them. If you... I guess that's if you... if you doom Solace Keep, but you have the United Living Lands, maybe? They have like a free life, but it says they experience like a hard but now free life. It doesn't sound too bad, but I would just argue that it's probably better to just not put a bunch of lava in the only home that you have. And then lastly, Kostya dies. Minhala builds a new home and is like super suspicious of others, and I believe ultimately shuts the doors again on... or not shuts the doors again, but is mistrustworthy of outsiders, you know? Not good. And so, let's see. Oh, the companions. So you have some different endings for the companions, and I gotta say, at a high level, a little disappointed in how the companions' endings were handled in comparison to Pillars 1 and 2, and how complex that was. But let's go ahead and dive into them with Kai. And there's one that I think you guys will think is interesting, but Kai, you can convince him to go back to Thirdborn to rebuild and defend and train soldiers. Sounds fine. You can convince him to travel the world. These are all... or you can convince him to go back to Thirdborn but join the Ranganui's council, which is just like the local government. Those three options are if you complete his companion quest, and then you tell him a certain line of dialogue. Depending on which one you tell him, that's the thing that it gives him. And there's also an option where he can fall in love with the envoy. I didn't really... I also saw that there was like a note that there wasn't any romance in this game, but then that is an option, so there's a little bit of romance in the game, apparently. If you don't do his quest, Kai just packs up afterwards and wanders around, and he's really lonely, and it's sad. Don't do that to Kai. For Marius, now I feel extra nerdy about this one, because I got an ending for Marius that within the hours of research that I didn't see anybody post about. Now, I'm not going to go out there and brag and say, I did it, I'm the first one. No, because I'm surely not. But it just tickled me. I was like, yeah, cool. I have my own little secret too. So, Marius, if you destroy Solace Keep, Marius reconciles slowly with, I guess, with everyone. I don't really so much remember that one. First try. It was in, well, I don't want to spoil it, but you can save the Solace Keep, and then Marius is like a local ambassador for them, and I believe Thirdborn, which is the one that we got. There's one where Marius leaves Solace Keep, but it's in a positive tone. I wrote positive. And he guides travelers in between, I believe, Thirdborn and Solace Keep, but he's still kind of like a wanderer, a lone wanderer, you know, but by happy choice. Or if you betray the party by turning on them and siding with the Steel Growth at the end, and you don't do his, and yeah, if I think it's just if you betray the party, because that's all I did for one of these things. He retreats back into the woods and it just talks about how, like, clearly no lessons have been learned. You know, he's sad, he's suspicious of people and stuff like that. I'm not doing the writing very good justice by skimming over it like that, but that's the gist. Very negative message. And if you don't complete his companion quest, I actually don't know what happens, because I couldn't see anyone that you know, would like confirm that as the ending, because that would mean you'd have to play through the game and like just to see if this one thing doesn't trigger or not. So I put unknown, or you get the same one where he just retreats into the woods. I'm not sure. For Giata, there is one where you can convince her to focus on animancy, one where you can convince her to abandon animancy for worldly pursuits like art and music and etc, etc. And one where she joins Liviana in her clinic in Paradise, which is the one that we got kind of by accident. And also, there's no record of us doing that in Paradise, because I did that off stream, thinking that, wow, what a small insignificant thing that I accidentally did off stream. I'm sure it doesn't matter, and it totally did. And oh gosh, I'm so usually hold myself to that rule, and it betrayed me the one time I didn't. And if you don't finish her companion quest, which happens in the garden, she's haunted by her parents' unfinished work. What the fuck? I'm mad too, honestly. Because it was surprising. And then Yardsley, if you complete her companion quest and then talk to her in the camp, you can convince her to become the godless guardian's librarian, godless guardian librarian, as her original awakened soul told her. You can tell her to study under Ringrim, or you can tell her to return to Fior and Quilici, or if you don't tell her to do anything multiple times, she'll still go back to Fior and Quilici. And if you don't do her quest, I don't know what happens. So either something different happens, or she just returns to Fior and Quilici anyway. With all three endings with Yardsley, they all sound like bad. Like if she becomes, well, not bad, but that none of them sound better than any others. So if she goes to be the librarian, it talks about how Quilici and her like end up splitting up, I'm pretty sure. And the same thing happens with under her and Ringrim. But if you tell her to go back to Fior and Quilici, it says that she feels like something in her life is missing. So it's kind of like, it's definitely not as clear at all which is the best one. But for our options, we told Kai to travel the world. We've told Marius is cool, he's a local ambassador. Gianta joined the clinic, which is, to me, good that she's not messing with animancy. Don't trust her with animancy. And Yardsley went back to Fior to live a normalish life. Cool. So, there it is. Here's what I'm calling our ending spectrum, okay? So how did we do? We have on the far end of one end of the spectrum, because it's not like good or bad. There's not I mean, I say that like good and bad, but it's all subjective to some degree. With the companion endings a little less so, but on one end of the spectrum, you have a free and united living lands. In the middle of this spectrum, you have an Adiran-controlled living lands, so whether it's a colony or a Grefrim, whatever. Some degree of that in each area. Or in the last one, we have tyranny within the living lands, which is, I called it tyranny because that's the name of the achievement if you side with the Steel Growth at the end. So how did we do? I've given myself a grade. Pretend I put a drum roll here. I give myself a B+, aka more good than bad guy. And here's why. Because we defeated Ludwin with speech. That's a double plus, right? We united the living lands. That's great. We got the good or best endings for a lot of the factions. That's great, including the tricky one where you had to destroy the ruins. We got decent companion endings, but I'm gonna take off some points for killing Sapidol because now I see that we didn't have to kill Sapidol. Okay, I get it now. I see it now. Fair. They actually would have learned their lesson. But I wasn't going to take that risk. Okay, so now let's talk about a few special alternate endings. Starting with, you would say minus two minuses for Sapidol. Okay, all right. Two minus for Sapidol. That would still put us within B to B minus, I think. I don't think that's enough to get a C plus. But here is our slide about the statue. And I'll read it for you. I'll read it for everyone, I should say, because I know the text is hard to see there, but I also put it off to the side. But if you look at the pictures, look at him. Look at him in the mountains, grabbing the goat and standing there in front of presumably the envoy, and then laying in the ocean with some boats. So Sapidol pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the Temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the living lands and learn to experience the world as Kith do. Their first attempt at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon they are bounding across plains of the eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge and emerald stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together, and in time they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts, and on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. So, not bad. Not a bad ending for Sapidol there, but I'm kind of confused, like, what happens if you free Sapidol and then they just do that, but like, do you still get the ending where Sapidol's like taking care of people and stuff and helping them, or is it just like Sapidol's having fun in the statue the whole time? Okay, and then on the complete opposite end, because we also can't really see this in my game's files, we have what happens if you make all of the pro Steel Garrote choices and betray everyone at the end of the game to side with the Steel Garrote. So, the Living Lands is now a colony of the Adiran Empire, and Inquisitor Ludwin is its governor. She rules with a strangling fist, outlawing all worship of the gods save for Woedica, and she replaces the settlement's leaders with loyal captains from the Steel Garrote. As her second-in-command, she charges you to tame the last of the frontier, and you work tirelessly to please her. An age of order and discipline is just over the horizon. You think Sapidol still helps the people in the statue? You know what? We can say that too. Our headcanon can be that Sapidol would still occasionally help people in the statue, but maybe less than if they were just watching over everyone constantly, because they're, running around in the statue. It would be cool if it was even more like, and you convinced the people to like Sapidol, and so when they saw the statue, it was, a blessing or something, and then, or you could make them not like Sapidol, and then they could be afraid of it, Yeah, so that's the ending if Ludwin's alive, and you go Steel Garrote. Which I'll admit, after reading a lot of people's thoughts about, like, going pro Steel Garrote the whole game, doesn't really make much sense for you to, like, go Steel Garrote suddenly at the end. And let's say you are role-playing as pro Steel Garrote the whole time, well, the game makes you feel really bad about it, and your companions yell at you the whole time, which feels odd. Because you would think, there should be a pro Steel Garrote companion, you know, or there should be. It feels like there's more to discuss there, but trying to keep it light on the personal opinions section. But I will say factually that in Pillars 1, there were a lot of companions, and you can have 6 in your party, I'm pretty sure, or 5. I think it was 6. And then in Pillars 2, you can have 4. And now in Avowed, you can have 2. It's like, oh, stop, wait, what's happening? My party. All right, but anyways, let's get to this tantalizing last line here. What if I said, guys, that's not the worst possible ending in Avowed? This is not the worst possible ending, to have Ludwin and the Steel Garrote lead with the envoy. Not the worst ending. Son of a bitch. I went to the outro again, guys. I hate myself. Back to the ending spectrum. It kind of reminds you of the Iron Giant movie. You know, I don't know if I've seen that from start to finish. You think Sapidol's... Maybe is that why you're pro Sapidol? Because you've seen the Iron Giant movie and I haven't? Now when I watch the Iron Giant movie, I'm going to think about Sapidol. See, it's like working in reverse. But here's our chart again, and I'm adding on an extra bit to the end that I'm calling the end of Eora. Dun, dun, dun. A custom ending that I made up. So, what could be worse than living under Ludwin, a godless envoy, and the Steel Garrote? It's time to go into Avowed and see. Hooray! Check it out. Here we go. This is gonna be great. 1 second. Gonna get chat turned back on here. Move you up to the top right. Get Avowed going. So remember one of those options. We've kind of discussed a lot of the options, but there was one like big one right at the end that they did blindside us with. I love that because they did that in the other ones, where you could fuse with Sapidol. What happens if you fuse with Sapidol? I'll let you all think about what might happen before we see. Now I've skimmed what happens, but this will be my first time really playing it. You know, we're gonna treat this like it's our real playthrough for, you know, and we're gonna resume the game. We'll resume the game right before we meet Sapidol in person in the garden, before they ask about fusing. And I will also one last thing add that so in this playthrough I didn't do any of the companion stuff. These guys are gonna get their not so great endings. We have to ignore that part because we're here for the Sapidol stuff. So yeah, I think we're ready to go. So alternate universe, we're about to fuse with Sapidol. Oh, I have to put the arms in. Oh, I was gonna say that there might be an even alternate version of what we're about to see if you're nice Sapidol the whole time. But oh my god, that's so specific, I didn't know how to Google that. I don't know how to find video evidence of that, and I'll put out a bounty for that if someone can send me proof of that, or post it somewhere. I'll gift you 1 gift sub to whatever channel you want for 1 month. Wow. Whoa. Incredible bounty. Alright, so here we go. We're off. To meet Sapidol. To kill Sapidol. So we're still going to pretend like we're going to kill Sapidol, I guess. I'm so surprised that they did not put your character in this little cutscene that we're about to see. Also, why does our character make such a crazy frown during these cutscenes? Now that this is our second time seeing this, oh my god, it was so crazy! We didn't see it there, though. Yeah, where are we at? We should be standing there. They've done that in the... Well, I guess maybe it's different. I don't know. Anyways. Hello, Sappadal. At last, you see our prison. The place where we have suffered.
You are so small. We questioned if you were real.
I'm real.
Then steps. A voice. Through armies and corrupted soil. You persevered. Now, you are here.
Alright, I feel like I'm gonna try to say the same stuff that I said the first time. But I kind of don't remember because I've done this a lot in my little bits of research. We're here to stop the dream skirts. There's not much time, Sappadal.
The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your dream scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. We refuse to remain caged. Release us. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh.
We could say, you mean Wodica?
She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore.
Random. What? Is something happening in Paradise?
Blood on the tile. Talons carve a sentence in our skin. She strikes us now. Now! Pluck her out! We must be free of her! A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there.
And send my body across the living lands. Even an archmage couldn't do that.
A wellspring of power. We strain, but we could clear the way. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills.
And then I said, we need to talk about what you did, Sappadal.
We have been thinking of your lessons.
Now see, here's where she might be nice. I mean, Sappadal might be nice. They're saying, we've been thinking of your lessons. We've learned from the fire in your heart. What I feel like they would say something different if we were nice the whole time.
We are owed for what they did. Let us rend our foes, burn them as she burned us.
And then we'll say, you know better than this, Sappadal.
We know you would have chosen differently. You met death, and you offered your hand.
Right, so, I mean, that sounds like, we taught Sappadal the right thing. Sappadal's like, you know what, maybe you're right. You were faced with your killer, and you let them go. And I would say, yeah, right. And, he was troubled. He didn't need to die for it. Or maybe, I forget what I said. He was fighting for something bigger than me.
Yes, you showed us that bloodshed is forgiven if the cause is just.
Oh yeah, and then we realized we taught Sappadal the wrong thing.
Our cause is just. We were wronged and we are owed justice. Let us have our justice, our vengeance.
Yeah, I wonder what happens if you say, yeah, you deserve some vengeance, like, and then you can set them free, but would Sappadal still turn out nice? I don't know, but now I want to click that too, but anyways, let's do this first. I can't let you continue the cycle of violence, Sappadal. I would never forgive myself.
But you would accept the risk of so many dying in a city that time will forget? Let us free! We will not ask again. We want them to suffer as we did. We want to make them pay. The blood of our tormentors warm in our throats. We deserve a taste, just as the bear did.
And I remember I asked Sapidol about the bear. What about the bear? The bear?
We asked what he would do with an animal that sickened after a fight.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember what you said?
I must have told Sapidol to kill that you should kill the animal. That doesn't matter now. We need to end the Dream Scourge.
Yes, we long for this too. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the Dream Scourge will cease. Let us free. We will rain fury on our enemies and shield our lands once more.
Now see, Sapidol's saying that they want to rain fury on the enemies and shield their lands. We could free them. We could say we rend their soul and return them to the wheel. Or we can say, show the other gods you'll not be suppressed once and for all. That would be neat if it unlocks some ultra mega angry Sapidol ending, but no, freedom or destruction. Is there really no other way?
Perhaps there may be another path. What if the bear's spirit came to inhabit another's flesh? Unity, emergence, we would become one.
Irek, what up? Hello, hello. We're about to fuse souls with Sapidol, as we have already explored and talked about some various endings of Avowed, and now I'm showing off what I would call is the worst possible ending for all of Eora. So here we go. First, instead of freeing or killing Sapidol, we're gonna merge souls with them.
We could guide you. We could care for you. You would never be desolate again. You would never wonder about your place in this world. You would not question if you were loved, and no one would dare question your right to live. And we would never be alone. We would be entwined with your heart.
Is merge souls some euphemism for coitus? Not this time. Not this time. More of a entwining in our heart kind of situation, it seems. But yes, Sapidol, let's become one.
Breathe. Do not fight us.
Alright, all you pro Sapidol chatters out there, pay attention.
Allow us in. Let us stretch our roots into you. Heart, spirit, lung, mind. You are ours now, and we are never letting you go.
And with that, we unlock Sapidol's Fury, unleashes the power of Sapidol to lift nearby enemies into the air and slam them down, dealing high damage. Also, I changed the difficulty to story time. we're so strong now. It's a lot of fun, actually. I already got my Path of the achievement. I said, oh wait, actually, hold on. Look. Now this cutscene is the same, but look at, what is that? They gotta fix that. That can't be on purpose. Look at my guy's frown. It's like that the whole time. But you know, this is pretty cool. Except that you know, it's a little ruined because of this frown. It's crazy. Right? Like, wait. Look at him. It didn't look that cool. It's supposed to be pretty cool. Damn, my guy looks pissed though. Like, this shit is awesome. He just rips a hole in space-time. Casually walks through it, literally like John Souls. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we got Sappadon inside of us now. We're still alive. That's a good sign. You know, oh shit. You know what would have been awesome? If they would have given you a unique headpiece. Oh, quick. If they would have given you like a unique head, you know, godlike appendage. Let's reset our stats and make sure our perception, intellect, and resolve are all as high as they can go, because those are basically the only ones that matter for conversations. And we can do that by getting perception to 15, resolve and intellect to 15, and resolve to 13. And then you know what we're gonna do. Eat some mushroom stew. And I get to see a dialogue option that I've never done before because I always forgot to do this before I did this.
It's paradise.
Or you're supposed to be over there. Check my items. Oh, you mean like my accessories? I think I'm good because actually, hey, the number actually updated. +2 wild mushroom stew. You just mean for my stats? Actually, yeah, I already have the intellect ring on. So I think we're good there.
I can't believe this.
Alright, let's get over in your
Get
spot.
down there quickly. Make sure we don't miss any of the fun.
In case the stew runs out. Okay, but we can see it down. We'll see it down in the bottom left. But we're good because the conversation I want to check is right here.
Already?
That must have taken an incredible power, beyond all mortal understanding. How do you feel?
I feel a bit dizzy. But actually, wait. If we say infinite more than the sum of everything, that's not a lie. That's not labeled as a lie. That's the truth. What we're saying, I feel infinite more than the sum of everything.
We are new. Better.
Very funny. At least your sense of humor is intact. Whatever happened back there, it appears our work isn't finished yet.
I don't like when they stare right at the character like this.
Are you seeing this? I don't think parodies looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually
Oh,
get that big.
by the way, look at her, look, her fur. They put out a patch that fixed the, they put out a patch that fixed her hair textures at certain resolutions, and I was like, no way, we just finished the whole damn game. But here it is, yeah.
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
And nothing has improved in our absence.
I don't know about that. Those vines might have taken down that eyesore honoring the May Queen. No offense.
Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time, assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us.
A dream without end. Now that we are together.
I'm not feeling so well.
Hey, you're looking a little green around the gills. You alright? You seem different.
We are home. Of this, we are certain.
Oh. I forgot. What? I must not have the other. I thought there were other stat. I went to check that we have all the options shown, even if we don't meet the requirements. But yeah, I can say I feel I'm perfectly fine with high resolve. I'm perfectly fine.
Well, if it happens again, you let me know. We can find you a healer. Anyway, better gird your loins, envoy, because it looks like trouble's brewing. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel Garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Day Wardens are here too.
Check the settings. Okay, yeah.
That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
Ambassador Hilgard must know something about
If
this.
he didn't start this himself.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapado?
Now see, the game at the beginning of the game was really good about you not being forced to tell them about the mysterious voice and stuff, which I always really enjoyed. It would be fun if even here we could just, like, not tell them the truth. But I guess it's, you know, the stakes are high. I invited Sapado into my soul.
You did what? What in Andros Depths does that mean?
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapado. Time will tell, I suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Yeah, maybe they'll help us in return.
Kin and God entwine. The flower shades the soil in which it grows.
We should take a look. See
Still
if we can
talking
get
in
ahead of
riddles.
whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Yes, let us be part of it. Let us be part of it all.
Yeah, just noticed my character has knife ears. Huh. This whole time? It was hidden. Why? Alright. Turn it back on. But I know that that one that we just passed, there was like... there were some other options, but I'm still happy to have at least gotten one. Also, I was super tired and hungry when we got here on our first playthrough. And I feel like there was probably more people I could have spoken to. You know, like, that are just like hanging out around here, you know? Like, what about all those people down there? And over there? But no time for that. Wait, we did go that way though. We did talk to Ringgrim. I'm lost. How am I lost? I've done this so many times. This way. Like there's Elder Grigor and the Revenant farmers. Now we did talk to them. Warden Radut, I didn't talk to him, which makes me sad. Also my game, my frames. There's a lot of stuff happening at this part of the game, to be fair. Alright, now let's talk to these guys with Sapado on our soul. I'm going to drop a quick save, just in case there's another option I'm going to check out.
Envoy? Is it really you?
Actually, that's not true. We have to pick one option here.
Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Makutadek?
It's too preposterous to believe. How could a plague be ended by speaking with a god?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
I just realized why my third-born leader has a cover over their face, and I remembered something else. That there's a part in the game where Ludwin gives you a letter addressed to the leader of Thirdborn saying, I'm gonna come and invade all of you guys. And I decided not to give them the letter because I didn't want to be Ludwin's messenger boy, and I just told them that the Steel Garrote were gonna come to attack. But because I didn't give them the letter, I think that that's ultimately what made her get infected by the Dream Scourge, and that's why she has a cover over her face, is because she's been cured of it, but she probably still has fungus stuff on her face. At least that's my guess. Let's see. I've entered the garden, heart of the garden, and returned as something new.
Yes, we have become more.
Sapodal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
So you say. But Shatterscarp is still littered with dream thralls, and Temerity is still pacing her room, muttering in the dark.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then?
Sapodal is the god of the godless and the protector of the lonely lands. Wodoka imprisoned Sapodal in the garden. I gave them a new home in my soul. The experience I had with Sapodal is my own. All you need to know is that it's over. I won't waste my breath. Why don't you explain to me why Paradise is on fire? You know, the experience I had with Sapodal is my own. All you need... You know, let's just tell everybody. Let's just be completely honest about it. Kind of anti what I would actually say, but Wodoka imprisoned Sapodal in the garden, and I gave them a new home in my soul. What do you think about Wodoka now, Mr. Wodoka believer?
Wodoka no doubt saw Sapodal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise?
He doesn't even care.
They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Naku Tedek was raven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
Similar roots had infected the structures at Naku Kubel. If they and the Dream Scourge were really the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
I could no more leave a young god to rot in a cage than I could a kith child. Sapodal was afraid of an Adiran invasion and Wodoka's return. They didn't mean to hurt us. The choice has already been made. I can't change it now. Or I don't answer to you, any of you. The choice has already been made. I can't change it now.
I suppose we can only pray you've made the right one.
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapodal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Having Sapodal at our beck and call might be to our advantage. I'd like to see Rawatai try to stand toe-to-toe against a god.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Keeping watch over Sapodal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise.
So far, everybody seems pretty cool about it, right? We had a little pushback. I said, no, we can't do anything about it now. And they're like, that's true. And we moved on.
Has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
And let's see. What do you know about this attack, Ambassador?
Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwine who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her Steel Garrote laid siege to the city shortly after you beat her to the garden.
And now, we could ask about all of these things, but they're really just background info. And if I remember right, Ludwine attacked Paradise now because she lost on the summit. She's hoping to still establish, do what she's originally here to do. I think the plans for a counterattack are already kind of happening right now. They talk about doing a two-pronged attack with the gates and stuff. Status of opposition, don't remember that one. State of the city, look behind you. And then, yeah, Ludwine returned. So, what happens next?
Ludwine has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwine, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here.
And so here is where you can basically choose which of the endings you want for the Living Lands, which I feel is a bit odd, is a bit sudden. But again, keeping the opinions light, I already know what I'm fighting for. Ludwin's vision for the Living Lands.
No. We would not feed the soil with blood and sorrow. We would walk a different path to a new land, one that breathes and sings.
Sapodal says no. But if we say I know what I would like to do,
Well, don't leave me in suspense.
you would think that that option would be gone now. But no, we can still stand with Ludwin and the Steel Garrote. I must stand with Ludwin and the Steel Garrote. Now suddenly, for no reason at all.
So be it.
I thought you were different from your kinsman, but it seems I misjudged you.
Trust in Adiran to betray you. I should have known. May the militia have your head for this, Adiran swine!
After everything we've seen and done, what an awful way to end things between us. But what choice do I have? I'm returning to my people, where I belong, to prepare for the end. I suggest you do the same.
I thought we were a crew, Envoy. But you're betraying everything we fought for.
It hurts a little bit.
I guess you made your choice, huh? Good working with you, Envoy. Maybe we'll share a drink sometime in the future.
He's gonna poison it.
After all the Steel Garrote have done, you choose them. It was nice knowing you, Envoy. But I refuse to be part of this.
Hurry now. Find Ludwine and let her know what we've done here. Be clever, be swift, for I fear your life is forfeit. And be well.
Alright, I salute the ambassador and leave. Also, all of our party members leave, and you can go and talk to them and be chastised by them. You know what, we might as well go ahead and do that. I'm kind of surprised, though, that you don't get attacked by these guys right away, but I guess Quilichi's not a fighter.
This is bullshit.
Give me one more moment of your time. It's the last thing I will ever...
Ask of me. Alright, Giada?
I have nothing to say to you.
You're upset that I'm fighting for the Steel Garrote.
Oh, do you think that might have something to do with it? After I was banished, you were there for me. You gave me a home, a purpose. I thought I knew you.
Actually, wait.
Envoy
Yeah.
I knew wouldn't sell us out to the Steel Garrote.
This is good that I'm showing this off, actually, because this goes back
They attacked
to an
my
earlier
home.
point.
You saw for yourself how far they're willing to go. It's one thing for you to step in line with your idiotic countrymen, their bigotry and their intolerance. What really gets under my skin is how you betrayed the very people who carried you this entire time. Answer me one question. What am I to you?
You're my friend and confidant, Gianta. I can't do this without you.
Somehow I think you'd manage. Let's make one thing clear. The siege has got to stop. The fighting needs to end. The Living Lands cannot descend into war. Against my better judgment, I even hope you survive. I really do. We took our godlike for granted, and now most of them are gone. Your death would be significant. Sad. Like losing an endangered squirrel. But I can't stand by and watch you bend the knee to Inquisitor Ludwine. You can do that alone.
Yeah, be reasonable. The Steel Garrote can fix what's broken in the Living Lands.
If you truly believe that, then I never knew you at all. It's funny. I don't invite hatred into my heart, but I made an exception for Ludwine. I really wanted to kill her. Shame I won't get the chance. Not in this lifetime.
So, the point earlier that I was saying was that the game is not skewed for you to go pro Steel Garrote, and it's gonna like chastise you the whole time. You could play the game pro Steel Garrote the whole time, and I bet you that this scene would all still be happening. But Yahtzee?
Well, if it isn't the Adiran envoy himself. Oh, it must be lovely not having to pretend, to hide. To be able to show yourself as the monster you so clearly are.
This is the best way forward, whether you like it or not.
Then I sincerely hope you don't mind walking alone, envoy. You have consigned all of the living lands, everyone I love, to a horrible fate. The yoke of Adir will crush everyone, and it will be all your fault. It's stunning to know that after all we've been through, meeting a new god, talking to ghosts, this is truly a horrible surprise. Though I suppose I should have expected it from the man who destroyed Nakukubel.
Aw, she said it.
Before this, I would have counted you as a friend. Now...
Also, the voice acting for the chastising is very good, though. It's making me feel very bad. We can still be friends, Yahtzee.
No, envoy. We can't. I don't know you. And I don't care to. Good luck, envoy. You'll need it.
Marius?
What's that? Got any other Nimdut decisions you want to tell me about?
You have to see the benefit in supporting the Steel Garrote. We're going full Steel Garrote now.
Benefit to you, maybe. Everyone else can just line up to be executed. You helped me through some really rough Sokka, so I say this with all the love and respect possible. You have lost your Usundant mind, envoy, and you're dragging us all down with you. I guess you think the Living Lands needs more wholesale slaughter of heretics.
I have my reasons for doing what I did.
Quiet. Marius is talking. The person who helped me confront and overcome the most painful moments of my life would not have made that decision. So you are not that person anymore. After tonight, we're done. You can find someone else to guide you to the next genocide.
You have to understand. The Steel Garrote is the best choice to fix the Living Lands.
The Living Lands were fine before they showed up. We'll be fine after they're gone. Just go. I'm done with you. Duke de Dragu, envoy.
I would have understood you sticking with Adir after all this, and I would have fought by your side. But the Steel Garrote, that's where I draw my line.
What happened to being a crew and pulling together?
That ended when you agreed to take up arms against Paradis on behalf of a zealot.
I still don't understand why you and I can't get past this.
Maybe that's what stings the most about this. I really thought we understood each other, that after all this time, after Tama, it doesn't matter. I'll always be grateful for how you helped me make sense of Tama's loss. And now I understand myself well enough to know that helping you would be a decision I couldn't live with.
Then, sorry it turned out like this.
So am I. Goodbye, envoy.
The price of power. I'm going the wrong way. Hey, I've never gone this way before. I'm sure it won't make much of a difference. But we also don't have to fight the same people. Also, we are companionless now, officially. Hey, wait a second. That's true. We don't have a companion right now. So there is an option to play without companions. You just have to betray everyone you care about at the very end of the game. Ice Boom, you're heading out. eyes are telling you to go to eat, hey, no problem at all. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. The VOD will be up on the old YouTube, and it's always available on Twitch right after the stream, too. If you're interested in what else is going to go down with Sapadol. Yay, betrayal! Hooray! Betrayal! Thanks for dropping by again. Have a good one. Thank you, thank you. Also, check out how we're just stabbing. We just stab them once, they're dead. Story mode. Get story moded. What, did you just kick me? I don't think so. Turn his bones into liquid. Alright, wait, so we have a little bit of combat here. We actually don't have to fight any of these guys.
You can't hide. Aha. Is someone there?
But you do have to fight these guys. What the? Knight Captain? Or Militia Captain? There she is. What? And she's dead. See ya. All right. Wait, what's this? What is this? A side room at the very end? For what? Quick, activate the loot shimmer. Wait, this is a bonus thing. I didn't... What is this? Could there be something here? Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought he was the loot shimmer. His lightning. I thought the lightning was the loot shimmer. No, there's nothing here. Boo! Boo, I say. Alright. Drop another little quick save, because guess what? It's time to confront Ludwin. Oh, okay. I was trying to make sure I remember what we have to do. Hello, Ludwin.
So, you survived the garden.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not as you were. Oh, envoy. What did you do?
We have become more. Tell her.
I don't know what you're talking about, Inquisitor Ludwin. Lie. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that is not what we will say.
Oh. Sapadol says no. That's not what we will say.
Tell her what we are.
It's talking to you, isn't it? Controlling you. It won't be a you much longer.
Yeah, don't worry, I've got it under control.
No, we would say something else.
Sapadol, let me speak for myself.
We will speak our truth into the world. Wodika must see us, witness us. She must know how we have changed. Tell her what we are.
Oh. I didn't do this before. I'm gonna keep arguing with Sapino and see what happens. No, I'm still me!
You are gone. There is only we. And we will never be alone again. Tell her now.
No, damn you. I didn't want this. Actually, no, we did want, I guess we did want this, but we've already come this far. No, damn you. I didn't want this.
Yes, beloved. Yes.
We have become one.
You poor fool. You had a life of your own, and you threw it away.
Beloved, from the moment of your birth, your life was always mine. Now, tell her. You will suffer for what you've done to me. Meet me in combat and perish.
And our only option? You will suffer for what you've done to me, meet me in combat, and perish. That's pretty cool, right? That we have to click what she just said. I love that.
You think you've suffered? My work has hardly begun, fiend. You are a parasite. One that will destroy Adir, and perhaps all the world if I don't stop you. Farewell, Sapodal. You can't hope to win, parasite.
That was weird. Her voice sounded so far away.
As many times.
Also, my buddy is going to be here to help us.
I am every seed in the soil. I will always grow.
Very stupidly, when I was...
Queen among queens! Send me your aid!
Your river of power runs dry.
Worth it.
How does it feel to be alone?
Sapinol's talking trash to Inquisitor Ludwin. Kind of want to let that guy die. Let's see if we can. But the first time when I was messing around with this on my own, for some reason I did not think, to turn it down, to turn the difficulty down. And when I was doing this, I fought Ludwin as we are now, but on Path of the Damned, and it took a while. So we got her to half health, and she asked Wodic for help. We get her to 0. She begs for Wodika's help again. I think she was hitting me with meteors. Alright, killed her again. Asked for Wodika's help. And actually gets it again? Take this! Sapodal's attack! Sapodal's fury! Pretend that killed her. And so, we've done it. We've sided with the Steel Garrote, betrayed our comrades, and killed Inquisitor Ludwin, and invited Sapodal into our soul. So what happens now?
Dead now. The roots will have her, and we will have you. Nothing will separate us forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle.
So this is the one, this time I'll speak in between each one. This is the one that appears every time.
The Adiran forces assemble around you, ready to accept new orders. Whatever happens next, their loyalty is yours.
But this time we have the Adiran forces with us instead of the Paradisian factions.
You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple.
Right, that happens in every one.
The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction.
Now see, I wish this was the time where it says, Sapadal recalled back the dormant cells of the Dream Scourge, reactivating all those infected, and caused them to go on a killing spree of all Steel Garrote troops and across the living lands. But no, it's just cured.
The Living Lands is now a colony of the Adiran Empire, and you are its king. The Ascendant Steel Garrote demand that you rule them with a strangling fist, and you oblige them. Under your leadership, all worship of the gods is outlawed, save for worship of Wodaka. You replace the settlement's leaders with loyal captains from the Steel Garrote, and your followers work tirelessly to tame the frontier. Though you promise them an age of order and discipline is just over the horizon, peace forever feels just out of reach. You find yourself looking over your shoulder. You wait for a knife in the back.
This is the same text that you get with or without Sapadal inside of you, but there's a difference if you have Ludwin with you alive and you're pro Steel Garrote. It doesn't mention that you feel the knife waiting in your back and that you that peace is just out of reach. It just says at the end, it says an age of order and discipline is just over the horizon, period. Which is pretty interesting. I also am catching here for the first time, it's saying that all gods of outlaw, all worship is outlawed except for Wodaka. That would include Sapadal, which is currently inside of our own bodies. And Sapadal clearly has control over us, right? Controlling what we say, or at least not allowing us to say what we want to say.
You showed the rebels of Paradise mercy, but they can never trust the Empire. Instead, they keep to the wilderness, always 2 steps ahead of Adir, only attacking when provoked. That is as close as they come to peace. You showed the rebels of Paradise mercy.
Oh yeah, also, I think I kind of broke the game by doing this exact sequence, because we got two... We get 2 of these. We get 2...
Only attacking when provoked.
2 things about the Paradisian rebels, and the only difference is... Actually, I can check. The only difference is that it talks about if they're ahead of Adir or Steel Garrote.
The Oracle Sargamus emerges from the Temple of Aethys.
We still get the same Sargamus endings.
Purpose, but for the one you gave him. He makes the long voyage to the Deadfire Archipelago and travels in the footsteps of his god, giving aid and comfort to those wronged by Aethys where he can. When his energy flags, he recalls the compassion you extended him, and he returns to his work with renewed devotion. His new labors cannot fill the hole left by his god's passing from the world, but they give him succor during the long hours of the night. He dies alone in the Deerwood, beloved of no one,
but remembered by all he knew. He does not forget you.
I feel like I'm remembering there were things you could tell him to do when he moved back, but I don't think there's no other options for these slides except for what we're seeing here. You feel like freeing Sapodal either into the statue or free as a god was cooler? Oh well, we haven't gotten to the concluding what happens when you fuse Sapodal into your soul yet.
The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in
We can, you know what, we can skim these ones that we've seen and already experienced, because we've already talked about them earlier in the stream. Yeah, so refugees from Thirdborn went to Emerald Stair, or flip that around.
The people of Emerald Stair
But Animancy declared a no-no under the Steel Garrote.
However, the Steel Garrote does not tolerate forbidden research. Animancy is forced into dark alleys, away from the eyes of the law. Anyone found practicing animancy is sentenced to death. You know that one day your body.
But we still get the same. We still get the positive corpse farm one because the city is all saved, and we made the deal. Even though, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense, because if animancy is outlawed, then Ilya's corpse farm would... Okay, I've definitely messed up the game a little bit by doing this exact sequence of things.
The people of Shatterscarp find themselves caught between two sides, with Adirans keeping rule over the colony, and Dream Thralls still stalking the hills. Despite the steady flow of Adiran goods, some Thirdborners leave the city, trusting their chances with monsters more than those with an empire. The ones who remain watch with wariness and patience, waiting to see if Adir might let down its guard. For a brief but hopeful moment, Solace Keep opens the fortress doors to the new rulers of the living lands, allowing Adirans to come and go as they please. But the peace does not hold. Lacking patience for the Empire's unyielding demands, Mihala shuts the doors once again, issuing a warning. Those who trespass in Solace Keep will not leave alive. The Adirans waste no time gathering their forces, for an example must be made.
So, here's an example of one that's like pretty negative. Feels like it'd be hard to argue that this is a positive ending for the people of Solace Keep. That they went to war, you know. I don't think so.
First time in many years,
so Kai still gets his nice companion ending because we did his companion quest already and told him what to do.
As the flames die down in Paradise, Marius finds himself in the familiar state of being alone. He bids farewell to those he has come to know as companions and sets off for the wilderness, where he finds solace in the constant battle for survival. Aside from trips to Paradise or Thirdborn for supplies, he keeps his distance from civilization, disappearing into the wilds and taking his doubts and anxieties with him.
It's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Ignore that I giggled. But we did his companion quest, but I didn't talk to him in the garden. So, you know, I'm not sure of the exact paths or requirements to have him not do this, or if it's just if you betray the party, if this is what happens. But this is the one ultra rare secret slide that I didn't see anywhere else, which is kind of really, admittedly not that exciting, but kind of makes sense on why it would be rare, because it's not hard to do their quests and stuff.
Giada learned much in your time together. How to stand up to authority, how to face the unknown, and how to move on from the past. But her family's unfinished work weighs heavily on her soul. Her inheritance is the burden of achieving the impossible. Such is the life of an animancer. At least now she has the right tools for the job, and new friends to help her through hard times.
And that's what happens if you don't do her companion quest within the garden. Has nothing to do with the Steel Garrote or anything at all, any of those choices.
No longer under the threat of imminent death.
And Yahtzee gets the same thing that we got anyway, even though all this bad stuff happened.
She helps him and the Animancers,
Which I'm realizing,
as they put
I guess
their
that
lives
could
together
happen.
after the attack on Fior Messiveria.
It feels, Giada and Yahtzee feel underbaked in comparison to Kai and Marius, with their
As the
companion
days pass
quests
into
and
contentment
endings.
and relative peace, Yahtzee is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never
And
goes
now,
away.
let's see, and now...
You will fight us for a long time, but you will lose. Our roots burrow through the walls of your muscles and the halls of your heart, tenderling through organs and bones. Every day, they spread further and deeper. Soon, you'll understand how much we love you, how much we need you. You will not remember why you fought, not for long. You will only know the root and the water and the crow and the joy of the wolves as the pack digs their teeth deep into the belly of the fawn. We will be together forever. We will never let you go.
An eerie quiet pulls you out of reverie. Your enemies are vanquished, and you alone stand triumphant. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
And that is what I'm calling the end of Eora ending. The worst possible ending for the Living Lands. Not only does the Steel Garrote rule over everyone, at the head of it all is an envoy, a godlike envoy, housing an angry god inside of them, at the command of the Steel Garrote. But it's not technically a what you might call a true ending, I suppose. But that is all that I had planned for our Avowed ending analysis stream. Not much of a review like we had said, but we will be doing talking about that tomorrow. So, a little reminder to follow and subscribe accordingly if you're on Twitch or YouTube. If you thought this kind of thing was cool, we do all kinds of stuff like this for RPGs. We have more RPGs coming up, like Cyberpunk and possibly Cyberpunk, possibly The Walking Dead, possibly some other ones that I'm not remembering right now. And let's see. Tomorrow we have our Mashed Potato Monthly chatting stream and the beginning of our Pokemon Heart Gold Nuzlocke run. Hooray! And on Sunday we're returning back to Minecraft for some chill new Minecraft updates. And I think I'm going to start a new world. With that ending, Avowed to kill all the other gods. Yeah, I'm excited for the DLC. What are they going to, like, what's the DLC has to take place before the ending, is my guess, because, like, how are they gonna account for all these different endings in the DLC? You know? That's how the other DLCs were in the previous games. Is it gonna be a Gonk run or a Choom run? Oh, wait, you're talking about cyberpunk terms, right? I don't know what that means. I'm gonna be a Corpo guy if I play Cyberpunk, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't really... If I remember reading right, that doesn't have a big impact. But Corpo sounds cool to me. We're basically going to be as ruthless as possible to get to, and as clean and efficient as possible. But I don't know when that'll be. But thank you all for joining this and throughout our Avowed adventure. It's always a lot of fun. It matters. It matters for the beginning, for the immersion. You saw yesterday an article about Pillars 1 and 2. They added a turn mode. They did. Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on. You got, regardless of how you feel about Avowed or the games at all, the developers updated the first fucking game from 10 years ago to add turn-based mode now. So people, wait, I don't like real time with pause. Wait, get over it. Get over it. Play the game now. Play Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 and then play Avowed. They're good games. All right. Phew. All that holding in of opinions just burst out. But yeah, that's true. And that's good that you reminded me of that. That's pretty cool. I don't have any opinion about real time with pause or turn-based. I kind of just, like, I don't know. If a game has one, I'll play it that way. If it has the other, I'll play it the other way. That's never really been a big deal to me, personally. But this was a lot of fun. I kind of miss drawing some stuff now that this is all over. When we did Dragon's Dogma, I was just doodling stuff the whole time. It felt less organized, but it was kind of more fun, maybe. But hopefully you all thought it was at least kind of interesting. And I will now have to live with the fact that I'm added to the stupid opinions and not entirely true statements that I was finding when researching all of these endings, because it was driving me crazy. I read one guy's long ass Reddit post, and it didn't have any kind. I was just like, I was so fucking mad. I was like, this guy, I'm about to have a blood vessel burst in my skull right now. And there's one comment that said, this has to be a troll post. And I was like, thank God that guy said that, because it wasn't. That guy was just so, he was saying, he said that because the Dream Scourge makes you get fungus on your face, and our character has fungus on his face, that everything that's happened in the world, and consequently what happened in Pillars 1 and 2, none of it was real, and it was all a hallucination. That was his theory. And I was like, what? Where the fuck did any of that come from? What if you're a godlike who has features from your god, like the game tells you? It's not that he's way overthinking it. He is way just somewhere else. Anyways, now I'm just rambling. Twitch chat, definitely a shorter stream today, but I still had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun with Avowed. We'll be back to check out some DLC. I might actually end up streaming it again sometime, because we still have that one quest with that dude in the Zorup cave, but they haven't fixed it yet. So we'll just keep an eye out for when that gets fixed and do it then. Tomorrow, like I said, Mashed Potato Monthly, just chatting stream, good stuff. And then we will be playing our Pokemon Nuzlocke run. I'm very excited for that. And then on Sunday, some Minecraft. I installed a shader pack. Wow, my game looks amazing. It's the same one that they use in the HoloLive stream, so my game looks just like that, basically. And there's a new update, so I don't know how long it's going to take us to get to the new update stuff if we start a new world, but we'll just chill and hang out. I've had a pretty stressful week, so I'm down to just hang out in Minecraft on Sunday. Anyways, chat room, that's it for me. Thank you all again. Thank you, Avowed developers, for all the ups and downs. I wish I could show off the art book and other stuff on stream, but I feel like that's a no-no because you have to pay for it, and if I showed it on stream, then, you know, you guys would be getting it for free. That sounds not allowed. So, but within that art book, they had a very heartfelt message from the developers, and they said that they loved us, which I thought that was very nice of them to say. I was like, oh, they didn't have to say it like that. Look, they could have said something a lot, more sterile than that, but very thoughtful. I felt the love. And with that, Twitch chat, I will see you all tomorrow around 11 a.m. Eastern, or whenever you feel like popping in. Have a good rest of your Friday. I'll see you then. Goodbye. Goodbye, chat. Thank you. Goodbye.